being the expression of the higher self. The higher self is essentially a manifestation of our existence within matter. The higher self is essentially guiding, coding, and prevailing the truth of its own existence within this reality, within this dimensional code. The world that we're living in is a code. It's coded. Everything is coded. Everything is essentially a mathematical charge or calculation, which is prevailing a predictable outcome. Why would it be prevailing a predictable outcome? Because if you can start to understand the biophysics of this reality, and not just the biophysics, but if you can actually start to comprehend the truth of this reality, we can understand that everything is following a forecast to convey a message within infinite existence. And it's very, 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 very easy to understand that the mind itself is only following a forecast. If we are living by the forecast, we will always be predicted. And within this prediction lives the mind. The mind is coded to follow the forecast. When we're following the forecast or following the mind, we will always be resonating within a certain frequency band. And this frequency band ultimately conveys reveals the next experience, because it's all essentially a forecast. It's a loop. But it's nothing to be taken seriously. It's just essentially the play. If you take a record tape and you listen to it thousands of times, millions to infinite times, you will always have the same record tape as long as you can maintain it, which the world maintains itself in this present moment. But as long as you maintain the record tape, you will always be able to predict what will come next. Now, nothing has changed within the truth of our existence, and this analogy is that we are predicting what will come next. The only way to unpredict the prediction is to leave it. Is to leave it. Now, you don't leave it by getting out and, for example, leaving this planet by suicide, God bless, because you'll just be reincarnated within the next tape. The truth is that you disconnect from the frequency band which the tape is playing from. Now, we've done this one way or another, and some of us have already done this, but we've chosen to come back to this reality to serve it, this reality's purpose. The purpose being helping people overcome the frequency bands which are essentially concealing them in ignorance. So when we start to vibrate at a higher frequency, we actually do something amazing within the mind. We actually start to accept. It's acceptance, which is the key, which is the code. When we accept, we free ourselves from ignorance. Essentially, acceptance is lubrication, and as long as we're lubed, we slip through the hands, which are the thought, essentially, which is trying to latch onto our point of attention. Because the point of attention can only be captured if we allow our point of attention to be captured. If it can't be captured, we're essentially vibrating at a much higher speed than any ignorance can try and lure or try to cast a net over our awareness. And essentially, this is the key or the code to free our minds from the ignorance which is keeping us here. It's very good to be successful within this reality. If somebody comes to you, you must be ready for the system. But at the same time, if we're only living from the system, we will most likely be predicted to enter the system in the next manifestation after life.